Ladies and gentlemen, being an active listener is a really important attribute to have. It helps in many ways. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about active listening. You can learn a great deal from other people. It's easy to learn lots, but it requires focus. When you're sitting in math class, thinking about the clothes your teacher is wearing while learning new material is not going to give you the best way to master anything more than an opinion. I've always been fairly good at listening. But what really caught my attention was trying to figure out what's going on with my own body. The research project to save my own life began with an open mind. Because I knew nothing, and there was a reason to know more than I knew, I had an open mind. Focus is an attribute of learning I had only mediocre mastery of. But because I knew the physical feelings of my body were real, and I also knew it was not a good sign, and realized that whatever was doing it, it was likely being quite harmful to me. So I had more focus than usual. There wasn't much information out there about R&M and V2K. It was pretty straightforward, but with a lot of other topics, you have to look for honesty. Lastly, you have to be willing to learn something new. That sounds silly, but some people don't want to grow or expand their knowledge of the world around them. And that's just the truth. There are some people that are happy being ignorant. That sounds crazy, but it is so true. With those three things, quote, you are well on your way, as they say in NA. Then there is the bonus knowledge category. Liars telling on themselves when they don't mean to. We were all born to be honest, and only through modeling and experience do we learn to lie. If you pay close attention, you will realize truth from fiction, but you got to be listening. The government told on itself again, repeatedly. And when you hear something repeated, pay attention, because there's a reason why it's being said so much. The government has announced that the environment is going to be a big deal in the upcoming decades. I find that statement funny, because it is a large space. Yes, humans impact the environment, but not as greatly as advertised to us in media and news. I am an environmentalist, but I'm also a realist. On a side note, the government or military needs to stop lasering off that big iceberg in Antarctica to create a rise in sea level so that the FEMA camps begin to be filled with flood victims. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. We impact the environment with living, but more with tinkering, and government and military look at Earth as a toy with movable parts, and like an infant, is very rough on it. Our environment is our air. This is why COVID is catchable. Microwaves penetrate the skin. So when the government says the environment is going to be a big deal in the future, it's because of 5G and wireless Wi-Fi everywhere. That will get people sick. And doctors will announce a new sickness caused by our environment, just like COVID. The more you know, the safer we'll all be. Challenge me. Comment below.